Dear teenagers and young adults, this video is specially for you. In this video, I am going to direct you, I'm going to guide you, I'm going to give you tips on how to handle your romantic relationships. I'm going to give you practical steps on how to handle relationships as a teenager and as a young adult. Inspire Central. Inspire Central. Inspire Central. Inspire Central. Hello fellow inspirers, welcome to Inspire Central. My name is Monica and I'm the chief inspirer herself. It's good to have you join me here. My topic for today is relationship tips for teenagers and young adults. In my time, teenagers were not having relationships openly or as openly as we see it nowadays. Neither were young adults. Back then it was a bit hidden, a bit covered, and it was not as flagrant or as displayed as it is nowadays. But we have to move with the times. And now that we find that teenagers and young adults are having relationships, romantic relationships early, it also means that this is the right time to educate them on how to go about those romantic relationships. There's no need shying from it and saying, but you ought to be older. Yes, they may ought to be older, but they are not waiting. They are doing it here and now. No thanks to social media. And so this is the right time to enlighten them, to guide them, and to educate them so that they handle these relationships the right way and do not make a mess of their precious lives this early. Dear teenagers and young adults, this video is specially for you. In this video, I am going to direct you, I'm going to guide you, I'm going to give you tips on how to handle your romantic relationships. You know you're starting these relationships early, and I'm here to direct you as somebody who has been there, somebody who has experienced it. I'm here to direct you to ensure that you do not mess up your beautiful life or let a relationship take your life downhill. So today I'm going to give you practical steps on how to handle relationships as a teenager and as a young adult. Tip number 1. Don't be in a haste to date. I know this may be coming a bit late, especially if you're already dating, but I still have to say it. Don't be in a haste to date. Dating is not all about being lovey-dovey. It is not about flowers and chocolates alone. It is something that you have to take seriously. Dating is not something you just get into for the fun of it. If you're dating and you want to date responsibly, if you want to date in a way that is going to ensure that you do not ruin your life or ruin your future, you have to ensure that you are not in a haste. Stop rushing into relationships just because. Maybe because you're bored or because you see that everybody else is doing it. That's not the right reason for you to do it. Romantic relationships are intended for you to find somebody whose values align with yours and who you can possibly build a life with, all things being equal. If everything is in place, and of course not now because it has to be in the future, but you're building a relationship towards that future. That is what romantic relationships are about. So do not be in a haste. It's not something you rush into. It's not something you just go into because I'm 14. It's not something you go into because now I'm in this grade or I'm in that class. No. Calm down, take it easy, take it slow and steady. Do not be in a haste. Tip number 2. Do not date because everybody else is dating. Ooh, the pressure of it all. You know, when you see your friends hanging out with their girlfriends, you see your female friends hanging out with their boyfriends, and you say to yourself, why me? Where's my own? When am I going to have a boyfriend? Or when am I going to have a girlfriend? Is something wrong with me? No, nothing is wrong with you. Do not date because everybody else is dating. That's peer pressure. If you date because everybody else is dating, it means that whatever patterns their relationships take, you will also imitate. It means that if your friends are going down the wrong path, you will also follow that path because they have set the standard for you. They are the ones whose footprints you are following. But if you know that you want a relationship, let it be because you want somebody for yourself. You want a friend, you want a confidant, you want a companion, you want somebody that can make you better and who you can also make better. You want somebody to build a long-lasting relationship with. Not just because every other person is doing it, not because you feel the pressure, not because you feel left out, but because you really genuinely want companion for yourself. You genuinely want a friend, a confidant for yourself. That is why you should be in a relationship. Not because everybody else is doing it. Not because when everybody attends the party, you're the only one without a date. No, you shouldn't date because of that. So as a teenager and as a young adult, do not date because your friends are dating. Date because you understand what dating is about and you want to have that same thing for yourself. You want a companion, you want a confidant, you want a friend, you want to build a long-lasting relationship that may lead to marriage. And yes, I'll say it, you should always have marriage in mind. But I'm not saying rush into it. I'm just saying that should be the end goal. You don't date just for the sake of dating. Alright then, moving to tip number 3. Tip number 3 is no sex. No sex. That is a very serious one. No sex. Do not have sex. As a teenager, that's not when you should be having sex. As somebody in their early 20s, as somebody who is still in school, that is not when you should be having sex. I know you see it on TV, it looks all glamorous. You see it on social media. All the songs have that in the lyrics. You see that in the music videos. I know it's everywhere, it's rampant. Your friends are having sex. And you're like, so why won't I have sex? What's the big deal? Am I going to be the odd man out? Am I going to be the only one who's going to keep her virginity? That's not why you should have sex, because everybody is having it. Don't have sex for these reasons. Sex is bigger than you think. It's not fun, it's not a game. Yes, it is pleasurable, but it's not something you should be having when you do not understand the ramifications, when you do not understand that there are side effects, when you do not know how to use a condom. You should not have sex. When you do not have the means to provide for a baby, if pregnancy occurs, you should not have sex. When you are in school, you should not have sex because you need to focus on your education. You need to think about your career, you need to think about your life, you need to think about your future. Sex is going to distract you. Sex is very distracting. Why do I feel you just said, yes, let it distract me? Huh? Did you just say that to me? I think I felt it. I just felt you say that to me. Like, let it distract me. Really? You do not want that distraction. Truly, honestly, joking apart, sex is very distracting. When you have sex with somebody, you start thinking about that person all day long. You start writing love notes. You start drawing hearts in your notebook. The lecturer is teaching, you don't listen anymore. Your teacher is saying something, is giving you assignment, you're just there in your own world, doodling the love shape, thinking about your lover, thinking about your boyfriend or your girlfriend. You are carried away. You are no longer physically present. You are no longer emotionally present. You are now mentally absent from your physical body. Sex is a powerful thing. It releases all kinds of emotions, all kinds of chemical reactions in you. It's not something you play with. And you need to understand that the main purpose of sex is not just for the pleasure, it's not just for the fun, it's not just for the bonding. It's also for having kids. Kids are a byproduct of sex. So I would ask you, are you ready to have kids? Are you ready to be a mom? Are you ready to be a dad? I don't think you are. Teenager? Is your body even ready for you to have a child? Is your body ready? Yes, your loins, your private parts may seem like, yes, let's go, let's do this. But mentally, you're not ready. Emotionally, you're not ready. Financially, you are not ready. Socially, you are not ready. You're not ready. And there's something you need to know about being ill-prepared. Do you know that there is how a good thing can happen to you, but if it happens too early, when you're too young, when you don't have what it takes, you will not value that thing. And apart from that, people will not receive it well. Your parents will not take kindly to it if you get pregnant out of wedlock. If you get pregnant as a teenager and as a young adult, especially one who is in school, especially one who does not have a job, your parents will not take it well. They will not applaud you. They will not support you. They may support you when you're already pregnant, you're stuck with the baby. They may support you, but you will be forcing their hand. It's not something they will choose for you because you are not prepared. It's not something that you are adequately prepared for. And so your parents will begrudgingly accept the situation. But that will not be their ideal expectation for you. Neither should it be your ideal expectation for yourself. That's not the best. The best is to do it at the right time. And in order for you to do it at the right time, you need to eliminate the sex. Cut out the sex. Stop having the sex if you've started already. And if you've not, don't do it. Don't start it. Because sex is such that it pulls you in. It pulls you in. Anytime you see your partner, you just want to jump on each other. You just want to take off your clothes. Because that is how the hormones make you feel. That's what the hormones do to you. It's hormones that make you bond. The hormones make you bond. The hormones make you want to keep having sex so that you can actually procreate. So that you can actually have kids. That's what those hormones do to you. So if you start it at all, for you to stop it, it's going to take a lot of discipline. And so I recommend that you have that discipline to not even start it in the first place. Because if you start it, it will be difficult for you to stop. So cut out the sex. Apart from the unwanted pregnancy, you can also contact sexually transmitted diseases, STDs. Have you heard of HIV? Have you heard of AIDS? Have you heard about herpes? Have you heard about that? Those are some of the diseases that you can contact from having sex, especially unprotected sex. And oh, I want to say this in case you're saying, oh, I have a pack of condoms. Condoms are not 100% safe. Condoms fail. Condoms break. Condoms bust. Yes. Expired condoms don't work well. So don't think that because you have condoms, you can do whatever it is you want to do. No, they're not 100% safe. They can fail you. So, in order to avoid the sexually transmitted diseases, STDs, avoid the sex. In order to avoid the confusion, the emotional turmoil, the heartbreak, and all that, avoid the sex. Do you know that if somebody breaks your heart, if somebody decides to part ways with you, if you've not had sex with them, it's actually easier to walk away. Do you know that? It is easier to walk away because that emotional bond is not as strong as it would have been if you were having sex. So you need to know the many ramifications of sex, and these are some of them. So say no to sex. If you're going to have a romantic relationship as a teenager and as a young adult, let sex be out of the equation. Let sex be out of the equation. And then you may ask me, so what do we do? If we're not having sex, what do we do? After all, that is why they are couples. Couples have sex. Couples don't just have sex. There are other things that couples do. And that takes me to tip number 4. Tip number 4 is spend time talking. You asked me what do couples do. Couples talk. You see, talking, communicating, is a very powerful tool. It's a powerful tool that lets you know who you're dating. When you spend time talking to your partner, you get to know how your partner thinks. You get to know how your partner feels about certain issues. You also get to know what kind of person your partner is. You know, the best way to know people is to observe what they do and what they say. And so if you spend time talking with your partner. Your partner will get to know you, and you will get to know your partner. You will get to know his or her likes. The person will also get to know your own likes. But if you spend all day in the bedroom jumping on each other, where is the time to say, so how do you see life? What are your dreams? What are your hopes? What are your aspirations? When we finish secondary school, what school do you want to go to? When you graduate from the university, do you want to do your master's immediately? Dating is the right time for asking questions. Many people get into marriage to find out that they don't really know their spouse because they spent all their time in the bedroom. They spent all their time cuddling, sleeping together, having sex. They never got to talk. They never got to talk about serious issues. What is your view on money? What do you think about wealth? Is having wealth a bad thing? Do you think you're ever going to be rich? Do you think that wealth makes people better or makes them worse? Is money indeed the root of all evil? Critical things. Things that will show you where your partner is mentally. Things that will tell you what kind of person your partner is at the core, at the heart of your partner. These are questions you should ask. Not every day you're in the club. Not every day you're hanging out with your friends. Not every day you're at the party. Just sit down and talk. Sit down and talk. And you don't have to make it a big thing like a question and answer session. Oof, scary, huh? Who's going to answer under that kind of tense environment? Nobody. I wouldn't even answer, and I like talking. I wouldn't even answer you. I'll be like, hey, hold up. Is this supposed to be like a date? Are we having an intimate discussion? Or this is an inquisition? Is this an interview? Because if it's an interview, I'm not prepared. I don't think I have my makeup on. I don't think I have my clothes ready. So make it a kind of friendly banter. Make it a friendly banter. Let it be something that is easy, is comfortable, where your partner can freely express himself or herself. Just talk and let the air be light and jovial. But while the air is being light and jovial, listen. Don't get carried away wanting to say, yes, I'm don't parrot away. No. When your partner is speaking, listen. Let him or her have the floor. Listen and listen attentively so that you can actually read this person. You can understand where the person is coming from. You can actually see this person's point of view and say, okay, this is how this person thinks. I see. You can recall what the person is saying, not you just yapping and yapping and yapping and yapping and yapping away. Listen. Listen. That is the aim of the conversation. The conversation is not just for you to spend time. Yes, you're spending time, and you're spending time the right way. But it's about you learning who this person is. It's about you understanding this person and how this person's mind works and what this person's perspective on life is. That is what the interaction, that is what the discussion, that is what the communication and the banter is about. So, pay close attention. Listen and listen carefully. Also, look at your partner while your partner is talking. Eye contact is very powerful. It is like me and you. Let's talk this thing. When your partner talks, nod. Yeah. Yeah. Make those sounds, those encouraging sounds. Like, yeah, okay, yeah. Yes, I hear you. Oh, wow, really? Amazing. And you then did what? Ask those follow-up questions. Those follow-up questions, ask them. But like I said, don't do it like a journalist. Like, so yes, what did you then do? Don't do it like that, please. Don't embarrass me, please. Please, fellow inspirers, don't embarrass me. Do it in a friendly way. Do it like banter, friendly banter, and get to know this person that you're dating. Okay, then that brings me to tip number 5. Tip number 5 is don't spend unwisely. Oof. You see this one? It is something that can not only derail your relationship, but can mask a bad relationship. It is something that if you're not careful, it will make a wolf seem like a sheep. You will think that this person likes you. You will think that this person loves you. What you will not realize is that this person is after the benefits that you bring. This person is after the money, is after the expensive meals, is after the holidays, is after the outing, is after the gifts. You will not realize that until it is too late. So be careful how you spend. Just minimize your spending. Don't buy expensive gifts, especially if it's something you buy often. In fact, don't buy gifts often. What are you buying gifts often for? You're a teenager. You are a young adult. So where are you even getting the money from? Okay, yes. We are in the Gen Z era where even a teenager is a billionaire on TikTok. It's true. Yes, teenagers are content creators these days and they are making a lot of money from the internet. So it's not about age. I understand that. I'm also a content creator and I know how it works. But whatever be the case, as a teenager, that is not when you start spending money on your dates, on your girlfriend or your boyfriend. No, because if you do that, you are setting a precedent that you will not like the consequences that will follow. The precedent you are setting is this: I have money. I can buy you whatever it is you want. I can spend money on you. So how does the person get to know the real you? When the money is removed from the equation, who are you? Are you a nice person? Are you a kind person? Are you actually loving? Are you as romantic as you say that you are? Because we all love to play love. Are you this genuine person? Do you have a good heart? Are you really hardworking? Or all that is money? Is it all about money? You need to know if this person really values you for you. You need to know if this person wants to be with you because of who you are and not because of the gifts, the cars, the phones, the trips, the holidays. No. You want to know who you're really dating. You want to see this person even when there is nothing to offer, so to say. Even when you're offering just your presence, your affection, and your attention. You want to see if this person is willing to be with you through those times when it's not so attractive, when there are no pecs. Or is that person there for the pecs? You need to find out. Now, if you've started giving gifts already, if you did not know that giving gifts has a way of masking who your partner truly is, I would advise you to start withdrawing the gift giving. Don't take back old gifts, no. Oh, please, let me say this. I cannot stand it when people break up with somebody and take back the gifts. That's very tacky. What will you do with it? You bought it for this person and now because you broke up, you're collecting it back. What would you do with it? Give it to a new girlfriend or a new boyfriend? Ouch. 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 But that's an aside. That is an aside. But like I was saying, don't take back old gifts. Instead, stop giving more gifts. Stop giving those gifts so that you can really see if the person will say, you've not been giving me gifts like before. What happened? And then you can say something like, yeah, you know, we can't give gifts every day. Come on, let's get to know each other truly. No gifts. Or you say something like, yeah, that's taking a toll on my pockets. I have to save for the future, you know. I have to save for university. I have to go to college. Something like that. And if you find that the person doesn't even say anything but becomes resentful, you take note. You just make a mental note to yourself and say, this one was here for the money, I got you, but just keep it to yourself and observe the person. And then there are some people that will not even care. They will still be their caring, loving, friendly selves. You go on with those ones. Those are your kind of people. But whatever you do, stop buying people with gifts. Don't buy romantic relationships or romantic partners with gifts. Don't buy friends with gifts. Because if the gifts stop coming, those people will be out of your life like that fast. Very fast. They will be so out the door, and they will not look back. It will be like, bye-bye. Hasta la vista. And you would not want that. You want genuine relationship. You want real love. You want a real friend, a real companion. So do not build your relationship on the foundation of gifts, trips, vacations, candies, sweets, and all what's not. Build your relationship on your personality, who you are as a person, the values that you have, the future that you're going to, your work together, you're building a relationship together, your harmony, the peace you have, how you are aligned with each other, what dreams you have together, what shared dreams, shared visions, and shared ideas you have. That is what you should build a relationship on, and not on gifts. Gifts will fade. Gifts will not buy you real love, because the day the gifts stopped coming, that is the day those people will walk away from your life. So pause with the gift giving, or do not start it at all, depending on where you are and what you've done so far. So on to tip number 6. Tip number 6 is meet up in open places. When you want to hang out with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, do that in an open space. Now this goes very, very, very closely with the no sex rule. In order to avoid having sex, meet in open places. Meet in places where there are other people, where you can just have a little space to yourself, but not somewhere that is private enough for you to take off your clothes and start getting stuff done. Not that. You don't want that kind of space. So meet in open places. You can meet in a library, you can meet in a coffee shop, you can meet at a restaurant, you can meet in a park, you can meet in church. So many open places for you to meet. So you can meet in any of those places. This is for you to ensure that you do not fall into the temptation of sleeping with the person. This is to ensure that you do not get too comfortable to take your clothes off and start doing something that you may regret. Now, I've said enough on that because I've talked about sex a lot. So this is another tip that goes with the sex tip. Meet in open places. Now that brings me to tip number 7. Tip number 7 is do not make promises. Whoo! You see this one? You see this tip? Too many people make the mistake. Too many people make the mistake of making promises. Teenagers saying to each other, "You are the love of my life. I will marry you." You will marry the person. You are just 14. And you're telling your fellow 14-year-old that you will marry her or you will marry him. How far have you gone in life to make such a promise? What is your guarantee that you can actually uphold that promise? What gives you the confidence that in a few years' time you will still want to be with this person? What gives you that assurance that when you go off to university and come back, your taste will not have changed? Your taste in a romantic partner will not have changed. What gives you the reassurance? Promises are things you should uphold. If you say something, you should keep to it. And so that is why I'm saying, do not say that thing, do not make that promise. You do not have what it takes right now for you to uphold that promise. You cannot marry that person now. You are just 14, you're 15, 16, 17, 18. Even if you're 18 and you can vote, you are still a teenager. You're still a youngster. What do you have? What exactly do you have? Even if you're inheriting great wealth, what do you know? What experience do you have at this age as a teenager and as a young adult? Not much. Not much. I mean, not too long ago, we were teaching you how to ride a bike. Not too long ago, we were changing your diapers. So how come you are here now telling somebody that you will marry him or you will marry her? Ooh, is that not too early? Is that not too early? Or is that a promise you are making just frivolously without care? If you say something, you should know that you have made a pledge and that person can hold you to that pledge you have made. Do you intend breaking that pledge even as you're making it? Or do you intend keeping to that pledge? I ask this because while it is easy to say, I love you and I will marry you, it's not that easy for you to implement that promise you have made. You don't have the finances. You don't have a home of your own. You are still in school, for crying out loud. How can you take care of a partner? Do you have what it takes to maintain a home? Do you have what it takes to have children and raise those children now at this age of 18? At this level of education that you have, with this little experience you have, you've been a child, you're still a child. You're barely out of the childhood stage. You are a young adult, whether you're in your teens or you're a vicenarian in your early 20s. You are still a young adult. Do you have what it takes to fulfill that promise you have just made to your romantic partner? Of course you don't. So do not make those promises. Even as adults, older adults, don't make that promise when they know that they're not getting married here and now. They know they don't have the wherewithal. They know they don't have the finances. They don't have the capability right now to fulfill that promise. They don't make that promise. At least the smart ones don't. It's not something you make lightly. It's not something you say because your emotions are just all over the place. It's not something you say for the fun of it. It's something you say and you should keep to because it is an important promise. It is a promise that has a meaning. It's not a trivial promise. It is something important. And if you say it, you must uphold it. So, dear teenager, dear vicenarian, by vicenarian I mean someone in their 20s, don't make promises you cannot keep. It will not be fair to your partner, especially if that partner takes you seriously and decides to wait for you. And then you end up saying, I'm sorry, I cannot marry you. I'm sorry, I don't know what I was thinking when I promised to marry you. I'm sorry, I was just a child, I did not realize what I was saying. And so, I who know the import of that statement, I'm telling you, do not make that statement, I will marry you, when you do not have the wherewithal, when you are not ready, when you are not capable at the moment of marrying that person. Don't. And don't propose. What are you proposing for? You still have books to read. You still have classes to attend. You don't have a roof over your head that is not your father's or your mother's. You don't have a home of your own. So where are you going to get married and start building a family? Where? It's a big promise. It's a big deal. Don't say it. Don't take it lightly. Don't let it come out of your lips if you do not believe you're going to do it. If you do not have what it takes here and now to fulfill that promise. Okay, I hope this video has inspired you fellow inspirers, especially my teenage inspirers and my vicenarian inspirers, people in their teens and people in their 20s. I hope you have been inspired. This is a special one that I have for you. Please tell me how it has impacted you positively, and I hope it has guided you in the right direction of how to handle romantic relationships now that you're starting off very early. Please drop your comments in the comment section and tell me how this video has helped you. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more of such videos, please subscribe to my channel. Also, do not forget to click the notification button so you'll be notified as soon as I update. Please do not forget to like and share my videos. Thank you very much for spending time with me today. I had a great time bringing this to you. And I also hope you had a great time watching the video. Don't forget to be an inspiration. I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Please subscribe, click the notification button, like this channel, share our videos, and follow us on social media. Thank you very much.
Inspira Central. Inspira Central.